Hey guys, I want to do a quick video today. I don't know if you guys have heard of the 3D metal models. You see them on eBay, you see them on Amazon. They're all tin, and they're detailed small kits that are made out of metal. And the one I want to share with you today is the R.M.S. Titanic. It shows you how to bend them, insert the tabs, and show the detail on the model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of the package and show you what it comes with. Okay, so once you open up the box, you notice there are sheets of metal. This is kind of like photo etch, and it comes with a lot of directions. What I'll do is I'll put up photos of all the instructions to show you guys what needs to be done. Shows you the areas of the ship and the parts that they are located in on the photo etch sheets. And I'm sorry, I'm referring to it as photo etch. It's probably not referred to as that. It's a 3D metal model. Let's take a look and see the sheets that are included. Feels like there are two, but okay, the first sheet. You can see that looks like it's the port side of the hull. And you got the bow section of the deck. And I'm not sure what the other stuff is. That's the first section. Oh, and it comes with two, so I'm thinking this could be, well, they might both be, maybe both sections could pass as port or starboard depending on which way they're facing. But this one has the rear deck, the poop deck. And let's see what else is on here. The deck in the middle for the middle of the ship with a deck and where the smokestacks go. You see the bridge area. I don't know if that's the wheelhouse or not. But yeah, that's all the pieces. And I'm going to put up pictures of all the sheets and the pieces so you guys can follow along. And if you're curious, you can pick one up on your own. This one really wasn't that expensive. I think this one was like $14, including the shipping. It took a while to get here because it came from China, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's done. So let's begin, and I'll start with step one. So the first thing I did is I went to step one. You got parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it shows you the parts on the parts tree on the directions. Now when you do this section, just remember you have parts that are inside that they do to conserve space. So just carefully remove those. And I can start putting together the hull. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're ready to move on. Okay, so let me show you. All the steps in part 1 are concluded. Parts 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are put in. You put the pins or the tabs into the slots, and I like to push one up and one down to kind of make it solid. You can see it's got pretty good detail on it. So we're ready to move on to step 2. All right, moving on to step 2, we need parts 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And again, when you flip it over, you can see the layouts where they show you. And I took out parts 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm using my small tin snips. Some of the parts are in the bow section, which was taken out earlier. So now I'm going to bend these because you can see it's needed to be bent. And I'm actually going to use, let's see if I can find it, I've got a photo etch tool somewhere. Let me find it and I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so I found my photo etch tool. And you can see you can bend different sections on it. But this one is kind of awkward. What you can also do is you can take pliers, is probably what I'm going to do. And you can go and it shows you where to bend. You can see it's dotted and it shows you the area to bend it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my pliers and I'm going to bend them down. Now remember, they're going down. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. So when that stage is done, this is what the finished piece looks like. And we're ready to move on to the next one, which is the funnels. Now when doing the funnels, what I did was I rolled the piece first. Then I rolled this and I put that onto the lid. This goes on the inner slots. And then when you roll the smokestack itself, the tabs go in the outer slots. Keeping in mind how small this is. See my finger? So, very small. And it's important to, once you get the tabs through, to bend them down and keep it into place. So I'm going to do the final one, and then it'll be set to move on to the next step. So all the smokestacks are done, and we're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to put 2 of them onto the section that we had just done. So I'll put the smokestacks on this part, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, ready to move on to the next step, and that's putting piece 13 and attaching the funnel to it. So, we'll turn it over, we'll find piece 13, and then we'll cut it out, and we'll put the funnel on top. So that's done. That's all set. Let's move on to the next step. We need parts 14 and 15. And we'll put the smokestack onto that section. Alright, so that's on. The handrail is on. So we're going to move on to the next step, which is, let's see, let me get the light, 16, 17, and 18. It looks like the compass house, or the compass tower. So 16, 17, and 18 are next. Alright, so those steps are done. We Move on to, let's see, 9, 19, and 20. And we can put those into place. We'll get the pieces off and we'll put them into place right about there. Alright, so that part's all set. And let me tell you, part 20, well, that was really fun. Alright, so let's move on to the next section. We're going to put section C onto the main deck. And let's see, that's 21, 22. So let's put this together and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so the superstructure is starting to take shape. And that part's all done, so let's see what we do next. So now we do the bottom of the bridge, 23, 24, and the aft section, which would be 25. So 23, 24, and 25. So those parts are on. Let's on to 26 and 27. Alright, so those are on. And moving on to the next section is we're going to put that onto the hull. Let's do this first. We'll do this section, get it onto the hull, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's all set. Okay, so the superstructure is basically put onto the hull. So let's move on. We've got 29, 28, and 30. So those are going to be the masts. So let's get those together and onto the ship. Alright, so the masts are in. Gee, that was real fun. And what I actually did was I actually glued them in place. So, the telegraph wire is part 31. So that's the next part to go on. Alright, so the telegraph wire is up. The masts are up. And I glued that into place as well, just because it's so delicate. So what we're going to do now is move on to the next step and finish off the stern. Let's see, what's next? That would be parts 32 and 33. There'd be 6 of those. Of course there would be. And those are looking like they're cranes. Those are I'm probably gonna glue those into place. And so I'll show you what these look like when I get them ready. Alright, so you can see I got the cranes in the front, near the bow. So what I got to do now is, I got to put the walls up at the stern, the way the back is, so it can support the cranes going on the back. So, we'll get that ready. Alright, so I had to fold the bottom, And what they expect you to do is bring the two pieces together. And there's two little tabs in there, but it's absolutely impossible, for me anyway, to get them to connect. I did the top one, but it's so small and it doesn't work. It doesn't fit right. And because it perforated, as soon as you bend it one way and you bend it back, it comes right off. So this is the stern, and I had to put the propeller bulges on the shaft where the shafts go. But this is the best that I'm going to get it. I got to put in the observation deck. Let me show you. See, that's this part right here was to be folded in. Alright, so I put the stern on. The stern's together. You can see the observation deck and the cranes and the sides for the propellers. And that's just about it. It's just about complete. Oh, and don't be stupid like me. When you're putting on the smokestacks, I thought I had them, they have a lean to them. I thought I had put them all the right way, but yeah, you can see that the two middle ones are off. But again, the scale of this is so small. Did it go together pretty well considering the size? Well, yeah, kind of did. Would I ever want to do another one of these? Absolutely not. I've gotten really spoiled with the 1/350 scale and the 1/200 scale now with the Titanic, where this is just way too small. I had found this in the drawer. I had gotten this a while ago, and my thought was to make a quick video for you guys and show you how to build it, but it's not a quick video. At least with me it wasn't. There's a lot of finely detailed work that goes into this little model. But this is the model, all finished, the 3D metal model, and I hope you enjoyed the video.